first video I want to do is a review of a product that, if you've done any kind of research into backpacking or camping or anything like that, doesn't really need any kind of introduction. You either own one of these, know someone who has one of these, or at least know that they exist, because it is the Thermarest Neoair Xlite. This is a sleeping pad, and I know a lot of people kind of ignore the importance of a sleeping pad and they focus on like the weight of the big three, so your bag, your shelter and your sleeping bag, but a lot of people refer to it as the big four and include the sleeping pad in this. It's so important to a good night's sleep. It doesn't matter how good your sleeping bag is, if you're not insulated from the ground, you're not going to sleep well. Simple as that. So yeah, this is an incredibly popular lightweight sleeping pad that a lot of people have, and it's won loads of awards. If you look on Thermarest website, you can see all the awards it's won on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the boring stuff, all the specs and all that, and then I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I'll blow it out for you, pack it down, and I'll let you know kind of what I think of it. So this pad comes in 4 different sizes. So it comes as a short version, a regular version, a long version, and a regular wide version. So this is the regular version, not the wide one, just the regular. It is 183 centimeters long, 51 centimeters wide, and it's more than enough for me to lie on. I'm 6'1", 186 centimeters. So unless you're abnormally tall, I wouldn't say it's necessary getting the long version. If you're quite broad-shouldered, maybe it's worth getting the regular wide version, or even the long one if you just want that extra room, but it's just added weight for not much gain, in my opinion. When you blow it up, you'll see the thickness of this, but it's 6.4 centimeters thick, or I think that's 2.5 inches if you work in imperial. So 6.4 centimeters thick, which is far thick enough for anyone to sleep on and still be comfortable, in my opinion. I'm a side sleeper, so I've got all my weight going through my shoulder when I'm sleeping, and my shoulder doesn't touch the ground when I'm in a tent. So yeah, it's definitely comfortable to sleep on. The R value of this, which is the most important spec, is 4.2. So a 4.2 R value for this pad is very, very impressive when you consider that the weight is only, for the regular, is only 340 grams. So 340 grams for a 4.2 R value is very, very good, and that ratio is very good. So Thermarest say this pad is good enough for sleeping up to 3 seasons, and they have got a warmer pad, the Neoair X Therm, which I think its R value is 6.4 or something like that, over 6 anyway. But this is far good enough for me, and if I were to go any colder, what I'd do is I'd put like a closed foam pad underneath this, not only to protect it from getting punctured, but also to increase that R value, that insulation from the ground. Yeah, so if you're ever looking to buy a sleeping pad, the R value is the most important thing. Make sure you do your research, look at what the specs actually, what temperatures it's good down to and all that, and make your decision based on that and not what colour it is or anything like that. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blow it up, see how many breaths it takes to blow up, and then I'll talk about it when it's fully inflated, all the pros and cons of it. Okay. Okay, so that's the pad blown up. You can see it's a mummy style one, so it has rounded off corners rather than being a rectangular shaped one like some of Thermarest's other models. There's a bit of barbed wire here, so I'm trying not to get any too close to that. So you can see that thickness now, 6.4 centimeters. You can see that's going to be nice and thick and to sleep on all through the night. And even if you are a side sleeper like me, your shoulders shouldn't touch the ground So the mat is made of 30 denier nylon. It's reasonably thick considering the weight it is. However, the first con I'll speak about, or disadvantage, is that it is quite fragile, or it has been reviewed as quite fragile. It is a bit of ultralight gear, bit of ultralight equipment, and the sacrifice you have with any ultralight bit of equipment is that it's going to be kind of not as durable as the heavyweight stuff. So that's kind of what you have to weigh up in your mind. Do you want to make that sacrifice? Are you quite careful with your kit, or whatever? Okay, so that's the kind of get to a shop, have a feel of it, and make your judgment then. You can see, obviously, it is an inflatable pad. It's not self-inflating, so there's no foam inside this that's going to inflate it for you. It's inflated through a classic, or this one is inflated through a classic valve. I don't have any issues with this. Works fine. It took me about 30 odd breaths, small breaths then, to blow up. So that's absolutely fine, not worn out or anything like that. Some people have another disadvantage, or state another disadvantage of this being that you obviously, all inflatable pads you have to blow up. They much prefer kind of getting to camp, throwing out their inflatable or self-inflating pad and kind of leaving it for 10 minutes and just putting a few lungfuls of air in it at the end, and that's it done. But again, that took me about a minute to do, 30 breaths, and no dramas with that. It was nice and easy. There is a different valve you can get on this, called a wing lock valve, whereby it acts as a valve. So you blow in and then no air can come out. So that would probably make it a bit easier. So have a think about that. If you can get your hands on one, give it a go. So yeah, when you blow it in, no air blows back out at you when the pressure inside increases towards those last few breaths. So that's an option, but again, not important in my opinion. Okay, so a couple of pros of this to outweigh those cons. So I've already mentioned the R value is massively impressive for the weight. So the R value to weight ratio is really impressive. So 4.2 R value to 340 grams. So 340 grams is nothing. That's definitely worth having. Almost guaranteed good night's sleep if paired with a good sleeping bag, of course. So the weight and the R value, definite pros to this. Packability as well. So this packs down. I'll show you once when I blow this down, or pack this down. It blows down to a size of a water bottle. Thermarest says. It's obviously not as small as it came out the factory, because nothing ever is. But when you roll it up, or if you choose to roll it up, it's about the size of a water bottle. I personally have it in a square, and then have it down the back of my pack, against my back there, because I have a frameless pack at the moment. So it kind of acts as a bit of structure against my back. But yeah, packability, R value, and weight are all pros. So, a couple more cons that people have stated. As you can imagine, for any bit of lightweight camping gear, it is quite expensive. I just shut my eyes when I bought this. I didn't want to see what it said on the car machine, but I picked this up for 108 pounds, British pounds. That was on sale. That was on Go Outdoors, and I had a couple of discounts on that as well. So if you are going to buy this, please buy it on sale. Don't buy it full price, because I think it's definitely north of 120, 130 in most places, but it is on sale quite a lot. So do your research. If you can wait until it's on sale somewhere like Go Outdoors, then please do. And obviously, if you're going to do that, get your Go Outdoors card and all that. The last thing I mentioned about this is that one of the main things that people say about this particular pad, compared to other inflatable pads, is that you might have heard it while I've been fiddling with it so far, but there's a noise when you're lying on it. It's like a crinkling noise. Don't know if you can hear that. but it's not like a silent pad. So the reason why that is down these baffles there is like a space blanket material, like a foil blanket. Thermarest call it their thermocapture technology trademark. Basically that's what creates such an impressive R value, because it reflects your, the heat back onto your body, and when you lie on this you actually feel warm just after a few seconds. It feels like heat is being reflected onto your body. So that's what the issue. Some people have an issue with that. I don't know if they're light sleepers. I don't know if I'm a particularly sound sleeper or heavy sleeper or whatever, but I haven't been kept up with it. I slept on this last night in a hammock, so it works in hammocks as well, and I'm moving about quite a lot in that, onto my side, onto my back, and it didn't wake me up. Slept through. So that's not an issue for me. People say that this noise lessens over time when the foil blanket material kind of crinkles and stuff. Yeah, if that's a deal breaker for you, then get some earplugs maybe. Okay, then to summarise, pros of this pad are really low weight, really high R value, so that ratio is really impressive. Really good packability, so it packs down to the size of a water bottle if you roll it as opposed to fold it. Cons, however, are the noise that you get when you sleep on it. The 30 denier nylon is quite fragile because it's ultralight, so just be careful when you're using it. Don't kind of drag it through loads of bushes or across barbed wire, as I'm trying not to do now. The cost is obviously quite high, if that's an important thing to a lot of people. So if you're not into this whole, if you don't camp a lot and can't justify over north of £100 on a sleeping pad, then don't go and find somewhere else. And lastly, obviously it is a inflatable pad, it's not self-inflating, so you do have to blow it up yourself at the end of the day, which some people have an issue with. If you do have an issue with that, buy a self-inflating pad, Thermarest do some, or get someone to blow it up for you. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blow it down. I don't know why I keep saying blow it down. Let it down, roll it up, and I'll show you how it looks when it's rolled. Okay, so that's it all rolled up. Just done the nozzle up tight again to stop air getting into it while it's packed up. Keep it kind of vacuum sealed as much as possible. Again, that's not as small as it came out of the box, like nothing is, but it's pretty impressive. Size of kind of like a Nalgene bottle if you've got one of those. So you can either stuff it down into your pack like that, or sideways if you roll that way, or you can fold it up into a square like I do and put it down the back of your pack. Again, packability is a big bonus for this compared to a self-inflating mat, which I've had before, and they're probably 3 times as heavy and probably twice as big as this. So yeah, definite bonus. Okay, so who do I think should buy this mat, and do I think it's worth paying the moolah for? I think if you camp up to 3 season, you can use this on its own. If you camp frequently enough to justify the cost of it, then I'd definitely recommend getting this. There are other kind of sleeping pads that people swear by. Climate, X-Bed and Sea to Summit have loads, but this is a massively popular one. So if you don't trust what I'm saying in this video, you can look at any of the plethora of other videos on YouTube reviewing this pad, and any of the thru hikers over in America. Loads of them have this pad. So yeah, that's my first video on YouTube. I thought it'd be nice and easy, considering it's an easy product to review. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please be nice, and let me know if you use this pad, how you found it, if you've had any issues with it. Yeah, thanks for watching.